Every places has their own history on how and why it has name or how it becomes well known by others. Every stories brings places to our lives and it will attach a special meaning to more stories. Even our place that we lived in has a story to tell and we can unfold it by doing some research. Good day everyone! I am Lorena de la Cruz Casaria, taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English from 2A2. For today's video, I will give you a chance to take a look at the majestic beauty of Abra de Ilog Occidental, Mindoro. So what are you waiting for? Let's pack our things and come with me! I was born in Abra de Ilog Occidental, Mindoro. The town of Abra de Ilog, literally river opening, was formally organized by American authorities in 1902, with Rosario Machado as the first mayor. Abra de Ilog became a barrio of Mamburao on January 4, 1905 as a result of Act 1280. It was reorganized as a municipality after 5 years, or in 1910. In 1916, the first primary school building was built in the center of the municipality of Abra de Ilog. This town have 10 barangays which are Armado, San Vicente, Cabacao, Poblacion, Tibag, Wawa, Udalo, Lumang Bayan, Santa Maria, and Balao. And that is the barangay where I belong to. The name was changed to Abra de Ilog, a Chabacano-like word that approximately translates to Bukana ng Ilog or opening of the river due to the various rivers and creeks that run through the municipality. Abra de Ilog was once a small village established by Spanish Catholic missionaries in the early 17th century. It was once known as Abra de Ilog. According to the local legend, the term comes from the Tagalog noun ilog and the Spanish verb abrir, to open or river. Abra de Ilog is actually a primary agriculture town, and the main product on this place are rice, corns, and fish. And now, Mayor Maria Gloria Montenegro is one of the people who leads our town, and I, as a youth, witness her pure intentions with us and taking those responsibilities to make Abra de Ilog more progressive. Abra de Ilog is 31 kilometers from Mamburao, the capital, and 25 nautical miles from Batangas City. The port is located roughly 7 kilometers from Abra de Ilog's town, centered and is accessible by major national highway. Pump boats powered bangkas can be rented from the port of Puerto Galera in Oriental Mindoro to get there. Barangay Armado.
The indigenous people belonging to the Iraya tribe were the first settlers of this place. They lived by hunting and farming using the kaingan system of agriculture. As much as possible, they avoided contact with the lowlanders. They also avoided the Spanish missionaries during the Spanish regime. During the last part of the Spanish regime, families from Batangas and Marinduque who were looking for vacant land to farm landed at the seashore of Abra de Ilog. Some of them reached the sitio. They bought the kaingin of the Iraya and occupied the wide vacant land. The indigenous people transferred to the mountains. Life was peaceful and simple for the families who settled in this part of Abra de Ilog. However, when the Filipinos revolted against the Spaniards, men of this place joined the revolutionary forces. The freedom fighters hid their arms in this sitio. During that time, the male inhabitants of this place carried weapons or were armed. In Spanish, armed men were called armado. The sitio got its name from that word.
Barangay Cabacao.
The indigenous people belonging to the Arayat tribe named this place as Baluguhan because it was here where a kind of tree they called balugo grew abundantly. However, the name was changed to Cabacao when people from Lemri, Batangas and Marinduque arrived and settled in this place. The change of name was due to a question of a Batangueño, which was misunderstood by an Iraya. The said member of the tribe of indigenous people thought that the Batangueño was asking the name of the bird which was singing during that time instead of the name of the place. He answered Bacau. The Batangueño thought that it was the name of the place. He told the group of families which settled here that Bacau was the name of their settlement. Years later, the name became Cabacao.
Barangay San Vicente.
The first name of this place was Sablay Uway. It was due to the abundance of rattan in this area during the early days, that every time a person gets out of here, rolls of rattan vines are hanging on his shoulders. In the Tagalog dialect, the hanging of rattan vines is called Sablay Uway. Thus, it became the name of this place. Sablay Uway was a forest during the occupation of Mindoro by foreign powers. Some families permanently settled in this place only after World War II. Its first inhabitants were spouses of Gregorio Bonifacio, Fructuosa Alfaro, and Francisco Aquino, and Gabriela Cabral. After a few years, the families of Tano, Bacay, Bunyi, Anilao, and the Chavez from Cabangisan, Isla Verde, and Tingloy, Batangas arrived. The population grew until this community became a sitio of Barrio Tulay-Bulo of Barangay Balao at present.
Barangay Balao. The indigenous people used to obtain a type of grass from this location, the roots of which were used to make fish dizzy so that they could be captured easily. That type of grass was referred to as balao in their dialect. This place, where the said kind of grass grew abundantly, was also known by that name. During the Spanish occupation, only the indigenous peoples, Kaingins, could be located in this area. When families of farmers from Batangas and Marinduque arrived in Abra de Ilog, the indigenous people moved to the mountains, like they did in other villages in the area. Tulay-Bulo was the name of the previous sitio where Balao is now located. It was named after an impromptu bridge that was built across a broad river. The bridge was fashioned with bulu bamboo, which is a Tagalog dialect term for a bamboo species. The vast plain near Tulay Bulo, where the Cortuna family lived, was once known as Balao. The name of the sitio was changed to Balao after the aforementioned family relocated to Tulay Bulo. Mendoza, Norberto, De Leon, Venancio Cortuna, Agapito Arellano, Eugenio Cortuna, Gervasio Cortuna, Ambrosio Salagubang, and Crisogono Olayaw served as Teniente del Barrio, Capitan del Barrio, and the current leader of the barangay on this area is Capitan Nanding Alvarez.
Villa Clarita is one of the resorts in Abra that are visited by different people because of the beauty there is in this place, and it's located at Barangay Balao. The water is clean and the air is fresh because this swimming pool is next to the mountain and because there are many trees and plants here. There are also tables and huts there that can be used, so it is perfect for family outing.
Barangay Poblacion.
This place was a forest during the Spanish occupation of Mindoro. The indigenous people belonging to the Iraya tribe sometimes came to this place to hunt for wildlife and to look for food. During the Spanish regime, the families of Panganiban and Rubio from Marinduque and Zoleta from Lemery, Batangas decided to settle in this place. They cleared the forest and converted it into agricultural farm. Years later, the number of inhabitants in this community increased. Moreover, the population rapidly grew when the center of the municipality of Abra de Ilog was transferred from Lumang Bayan to this place.
Barangay Wawa.
The name of the barangay came from its being near the mouth of the river. In the Tagal dialect, the mouth of the river is called Wawa. In an old map drawn during the Spanish regime, at the place where Wawa is located at present, the old village of Ilog was indicated. In the history written by Anton Postma, a Dutch researcher, it was described as a community of the indigenous people belonging to the Iraya tribe, which was frequently visited by missionary priests. It was then under the jurisdiction of the parish of Calavite. It was also narrated that this was one of the places often plundered by Moro pirates. In 1757, Ilog disappeared from the map because the pirate burned the houses of the villagers who hid in the mountains. You can pass the overlooking beach when you go to Agbalala Falls. It is located at Barangay Wawa in Sitio Apias. It is next to the sea, so people are tempted to criticize it because apart from the beautiful scenery, the food that they offer are also delicious. At a cheap price, you can eat delicious food while having some fresh air. Agbalala Falls reaches a breathtaking height of 115 feet and a depth of 11 feet. It is one of the 4 waterfalls in Barangay Wawa, with the Agbalala Lover Falls, Apias Waterfalls, and Bagulayag Falls. The water was almost ice cold at first, but you get used to it and won't even feel cold after a few minutes, as it is with most waterfalls. The water was crystal clear, but there wasn't much to see beneath the surface except for a few fish that blended with the pebbly bottom and a 3-foot-long pointed black rock that jutted upward like a skeletal finger. Apias Falls is in Abra de Ilog Occidental, Mindoro, and it is located in Barangay Wawa. Poblacion is around 15 to 30 minutes away. The Apias waterfalls are only about 8 feet tall and have a 5-foot depth. The location is a local favorite because it is so conveniently accessible. However, concrete steps and platforms have been installed along sections of the pool's borders to make the area safe for visitors. If you're going to Agbalala Falls, you can take a break here at Apias Falls and get a taste of what's in store. You can stop by and relax when passing by this waterfall. You're already at the beach after only a few minutes stroll. The water is incredibly clear and you can see pebbles and boulders just beneath your feet. You may also enjoy ice-cold water at Apias Falls. Because the water is not too deep, it is ideal for a family outing. It's completely risk-free. With just 10 pesos, you may visit both the falls and the beach.
Barangay Tibag.
The name of the barangay came from the erosion of the bank of the river flowing through this place every rainy season. In the Tagalog dialect, soil erosion is called tibag, hence the name of the place. This place was a forest during the Spanish regime. In the early part of the American regime, from Lemery, Batangas, the family of Zoleta arrived and settled at the center of the municipality of Abra de Ilog. They bought the forested plains of Tibag. However, they did not develop the area. Thus, when other families of farmers from their hometown came and lived in Tibag, the Zoleta family sold to the newcomers their uncultivated farm. The persons who first settled in this place were the families of Antonio Encarnacion, Salvador Dayan, and siblings Felicidad and Presidas Dayan. They turned into productive farm the uncultivated land of Tibag.
Barangay Lumang Bayan.
The name of the place came from its being the center of the municipality of Abra de Ilog during the latter part of the Spanish regime and the early part of the American occupation of Mindoro. Like some communities in Abra de Ilog, the indigenous people belonging to the Iraya tribe were the early inhabitants of this place. However, since the sea vessels going to Calaviti from Calapan passed through this coastal settlement, travelers from Batangas and Marinduque saw that a greater opportunity for their families' economic progress existed in this place than in their home province. The families who first settled here were composed of the families of Balanza, Santos, Arile, and De Mesa. In the early part of the American occupation of Mindoro, since flood frequently occurred in their settlement, some families transferred to a higher place, which is now the location of the present center of the municipality of Abra de Ilog. This place is known as Buktot. It is located in Barangay HAAWK and it is also close to the port of Abra de Ilog. This place is very well known in Abra because it has a beautiful scenery that people want to see. And if you take the road here, you will find Udalo and Puerto Galera, which is still making the road for everyone's safety. Cruz Taparang is located in Dumangbayan, Abra de Ilog Occidental, Mindoro. Cruz Naparang is similar to the stations of the cross in that it has 14 traditional stations that run the length of the mountain. Different people from different places came here and hiked for almost 3 hours on average to pray, ponder, and thank God for all of His blessings.
Barangay Udalo. This barangay is composed of 2 communities, namely Udalo and Camorong. The name of the 2 places came from the plants which could be found there. During the Spanish regime, Udalo and Camorong were forests. Big trees abound there. When the Americans occupied Mindoro, a certain Mr. Gibbs was given permission by the government to operate a logging concession in this area. As a result, Gibbs timberland started to cut trees on the hills of Camorong. Before I end this video, I want to leave the quotation of Marcos Garvey that a people without knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. So that's all for today, and I hope that you enjoy traveling with me. Thank you for watching and God bless.